Yo, so 11:15 dropped, and look, I just gotta say, before starting anything, if you aren't believing the shit that's coming out of my mouth at this point, I don't even know what to tell you. You are just in denial. I predicted a massive fucking event, kind of, that happened in this chapter, in my, last chapter video, I believe. If not, it was, the spoiler video I did for, 11:14 on my second channel. And you best believe I'll be gloating about it when that comes up in this chapter. But anyways, as always, let's just go through the chapter, and I'll spit out my nonsense as it comes up. So cover story is more Wano shit. You gotta love that. But what comes next is something that I would have never been able to predict. And that is the return of my beloved Kid Pirates. No, wait. Never mind. It's the fucking fake Straw Hats posing as the Kid Pirates now. I swear to God, Oda has it out for Kid. I don't know what the fuck Kid did to Oda, but I need to know the backstory between those two, because they have something going on between them. Us Kid stans cannot catch a fucking break. I'm just really numb to all the pain at this point, all the beatings that I've gotten. I'm just happy to see my boy is still somewhat in the story. I don't care if he's really getting clowned on. I just like seeing his likeness, used. However, I just like to see him represented in some way. Also, I agree with this statement wholeheartedly. Fuck Joy Boy. Vegapunk then continues with his message, and we got, guess what? More reactions. We all wanted more of those, and we get plenty of them in this chapter. He says that Joy Boy had a fight with the current world government, pretty much, and he lost. Which, I mean, yeah, we kind of figured that out at this point, but it's nice to hear. Mars then flexes his massive cock on a bunch of lowly transponder snails. And I gotta say, this panel does go pretty fucking hard. As evil as the Gorosei are, Jesus Christ, are some of them fucking cool. Holy shit, except Saturn. Saturn's kind of lame. And here we are. It's the thing that I predicted, which I was even unsure of when I initially said it. I thought it was a long shot. It was that we would see Joy Boy's silhouette this chapter. And guess what? We fucking got it. And it's not really that cool because it's literally just Gear 5 Luffy, but it's something. Now we have an image that we can refer to, oh yeah, we can associate this weird silhouette with Joy Boy. Yep, that's him. Now next up, nobody really gave a fuck about this part, but I did since I'm a Stussy simp. But it appears that Stussy will make it out of Egghead alive. Kaku's there to support her because she's all depressed and shit, which I predicted would happen. So, no surprise here. My reasoning for it was that she was just too bad to kill off. There's so much fan service that could be made of her. And that's proving to be a pretty valid reason. Oda sees the vision. Oh yeah, and Venus pretty much cuts the entire Labo Stratum in half, which is, what's up with that? He's a top 2 swordsman, at least. Not counting Shanks, because, there's all those weird stipulations with him. But I don't really think it's debatable, okay? He pretty much beats Mihawk right now just because he's invincible. But even if he wasn't, I think he's at least given Mihawk a run for his money. I'm still shocked that Zoro still hasn't clashed with him yet. I can only assume it'll happen in the next few chapters, or at least before they leave Egghead. This guy will probably be Zoro's second to last opponent, right before Mihawk, right before whoever he fights in the Blackbeard Pirates. So it's only right we get some kind of preview for it. We then get a glimpse into the ancient kingdom that was sunk into the ocean by the ancient weapons. Kind of weird that the, submarines exist in this world. Law fucking has one as his ship, and he's not even his gimmick isn't that he's technologically advanced or anything like that. Yet Vegapunk still hasn't gone down there after knowing about this for probably decades at this point. And if he has gone down there, why didn't he take anything with him? I would understand the pressure and shit, but submarines can go down pretty fucking deep. Plus, Oda can just say that Vegapunk has some, crazy submarine that can't implode from pressure or some shit, and nobody would really bat an eye. But whatever, that's besides the point. It's pointless to argue against Oda because he created this fucking world, and we're just living in... It's like arguing with God. It doesn't change anything. It's just getting mad at the world. And then at the end of the chapter, Vegapunk drops one of his bombs, as usually does. That's beginning to become a signature move for him. He's been doing that at the end of every fucking chapter for the last feels like 5 chapters now. Vegapunk pretty much says that the crazy ancient weapon war still hasn't ended and it's still going on today. And we got a nice little close-up of Eam's reaction, which is just a fucking blank canvas, pretty much. Now, the crazy bold thing to say here is that next chapter we're going to get a Eam face reveal, but I'm going to be a pussy here because I don't know how much Vegapunk really knows. So my prediction is that we don't get a fucking emu face reveal next chapter. I just do not see it happening yet. I know we're 1,100 chapters deep, but look, we got to wait another 1,100 for that. Just like Dragon, we're not seeing him in action for at least another fucking 50 years. But I do see the Eam face reveal happening whenever we get the Void Century flashback. Only because I cannot see Eam's face reveal happening in a flashback. Like, I think they'll show us Eam, and then we get into the flashback, and then we see Eam's face, and we see the Gorosei, just to show that they don't age, and that they were around during that time, just to prove it. That would make the most sense to me, and I feel it could probably make the most sense story-wise. I hope we get some Eam lines next chapter, or Eam actually doing something, because this is Eam's worst nightmare, because he/she can't really do shit to stop this from happening. From what we know, Eam is just kind of powerless here, and I can't imagine that makes him feel very good. I could see like a little Mother Flame action next chapter, something along those lines. That would go pretty hard. I don't think any of you would be disappointed with that. But yeah, the message continues, and I don't think it's ending next chapter. It might end at the end of 11:17, if I had to guess. If I'm wrong, just crucify me. I don't know. I literally have to try to be wrong nowadays. But yeah, that's about it. Pretty heat lore chapter. Oda has been on quite the roll lately. No break next week, so you better bet your fucking ass I'm going to be here talking about 11:16 and going about how right I was about that chapter this time next week. But yeah.